Hi, my friends. Welcome back. Let's continue the tutorial about the computer motherboard maintenance. So, in this video, I will show you how to identify each motherboard chips and how to communicate each other and the audio section of this desktop motherboard. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. So this one is CPU, Central Processing Unit. This one is North Bridge. This one is South Bridge. This one is SIO or are chips. So the North Bridge communicate with CPU, memory such as RAM and PCI and AGP. The other one is South Bridge communicate with the PCI, with SIO, SATA, USB and IDE. Let's show each one by one. First, on the desktop, this power supply is here. Depending on the color, each are different voltage. For example, yellow means 12 volt, red means 5 volt, black means ground, that is 0 volt. So this one is SIO. This SIO is used for power management. Okay. Also, the power button is directly connected to this. This one is South Bridge, North Bridge, CPU. Okay. First, before the press the power button, the power supply send 5 volt standby to the super input output chip. This 5 volt converted by this regulator to 3.3 volts. Always this volt is opened or without pressing any power. So by default it has 3.3 volt here. So when the computer is in faulty condition, as a technician you must check this voltage without pressing the power button. At the time of this SIO sends signal to the receive signal to the South Bridge, telling it to get ready. After this, when we press power button here, this is when we press the power button here, the SIO receives this command and forward signal called power button. Look this at 4 for this South Bridge. The South Bridge reply with sleep signal S3, S4. This gives the SIO permission to fully power up the system. Look at this one. The SIO pulls the power system on like low to turn on the power supply. Look, this is the green color of the power supply. For example, if you want to maintain or check separately the power supply of the desktop computer without installing the case, you can test by shorting the green with the black cable. After that, all voltage out, otherwise not out. So after sending this SIO, this signal to this power system supply, at the time of this, all voltage out. Look, this one, this is 5 volt. This 5 volt regulated to 1.8 volt. This 1.8 volt also comes for CPU and North bridge, and also DDR2 RAM. And this 5 volt also regulated to 1.25 volt and enter to the North bridge. The system confirms power is stable with the power OK signal. The VR on signal is sent to wake up the CPU voltage regulator module. Look here, VR on signal, voltage regulator module. Okay, this is the VR on signal is sent to wake up the CPU voltage regulator module. This is VR on. This voltage regulator module is as the want the CPU, it supply the voltage as required the CPU by adjust the voltage. This VR on signal is sent to wake up the CPU voltage regulator. The VRM voltage regulator module send the required core voltage to the CPU. It sends a power good signal to confirm the CPU is powered. VRM, this is good signal. The VRM power good signal to confirm the CPU is powered. Finally, clock synchronize receives signals clearly the chips and the CPU reads the BIOS through ICH and through ICH to boot up your operating system. This is the BIOS. This means basic input-output system. Okay, this VRM generates this clock. This clock also come and back to enter to this CPU clock. This clock is very important for the purpose of synchronization of all chips. Synchronization means all work at the same speed at the same time. Without synchronization it is someone delays someone fast. At the time of that, the communication is not good. So this synchronization is very important. Now welcome to audio section in a computer. Look this. This is the power supply of desktop, because desktop have 24 pin or 22 pin, just like that, and different colors have the different voltage. This 12 volt is come to the audio IC. After reach this, there is a regulator here. This regulator changes this 12 volt to 5 volt, and this 5 volt is entered to audio IC. Okay, look over here. Please sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Please help me. These audio ICs communicate directly to the south bridge by sending signal and by receiving signal from this south bridge. This south bridge is here. These south bridges have a responsibility for the audio section. Okay? From this audio signal is very important. This changes the digital signal to the analog signal and sends to, here is the port of your computer as the port. Did you see here? Look over here. This blue line is to input sound from another audio device, for example, MP3 player, an MP3 player into the computer. This green line out to output audio signal to headphone or speaker. This pink mic in to input audio signal from microphone into the computer, for example, recording sound. Look friend, this is on the motherboard, this is sound IC. When we troubleshooting this audio IC, when facing audio issue, you can follow this systematic step similar to motherboard diagnostics. The first one, before leap to enter this IC, software check. For example, driver, sound driver or audio driver. Verify that your audio driver is installed functionally correctly or and up to date. When you search audio driver on the start, this audio driver show yellow color if not updated or if required to update. The first one is this checkup is very important, friend. The other checkup is volume mixer. Ensure the volume level in the operating system are not muted or set to low. Okay, another checkup, hardware check. So, external test your speaker, the first one, or headphone on another device like a phone, to rule out the external peripheral as the source of the problem. The other one is visual inspection. This one is very important. When we visual inspect here, something can visible just on maybe on these capacitors. Visual inspection is audio jack for the bend, pin, or physical damage. The other one is motherboard check. Voltage measure the necessary voltage, usually 3.3 volt or 5 volt required for the audio codec to operate at its test point. Look here, this voltage 3.3 volt, and the other one is this 5 volt. If this voltage is missing, the problem may be in the related chips surrounding the codec. This is audio codec. Also, there is different kinds of electronic components surrounding this IC, such as capacitor, SMD capacitor, or electrolytic capacitor, just like here, resistor, inductor, transistor. So please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated, because this is very consecutive lecture. So for the future